welcome to another segment with David and myself, and today we're going to talk about the male physiology. We're going to talk about the prostate. So you thought I was going to talk about something else. Prostate, which is connected to something else. All right. All right. A lot of you guys are suffering prostate issues right there. You get this swelling, you get up in the middle of the night, you got to pee because you got this thing pressing on your urethra, and all these issues going on. Part of the reason why this is going on for a lot of you is because a lot of you are getting older and you sit down more. You're sitting down behind a computer, you know, doing your research on health and taking over Codex and getting rid of the FDA and all these other things. You know, so you're doing your research on trying to balance the planet. So as a result, you're sitting down more, and as a result, you are cutting the blood flow south of the border. So as a result of that blood flow being reduced, prostate's not getting what it needs. So one of the things you guys can do is get up every so often, take your palms and massage the area, massage that particular area, get the blood flowing. Same with your women. It's the same thing for you, but it's up above. Okay, a lot of you are wearing this harness, which is cutting the blood flow into your breast cavity. So at nighttime, pop the harness, take your breast, move to one side, and same thing, go down. Drain it down. Same thing on the other side. Drain it down. This will get the blood flow, because you got to remember, you have this cross your heart harness that's cutting blood flow. Well, the guys, it's the same thing, but for you, it's down here. So, what are we going to do to reduce the inflammation? Because some of you have inflammation of the prostate. Well, I'm going to give you some herbs that can help with this. Rosemary, cheap herb, buy it at any grocery store. You can make a tea out of it. You can make an extract out of it. You can ground it down to a powder and use it. It in and of itself can reduce inflammation. And what does rosemary do? It blocks estrogen. It takes estrogen out of the body. It has something called luteolin, which binds the estrogen, pulls it out. Grapeseed extract. Again, grapeseed powders or grapeseed extracts have anti-estrogenic components, which can cause inflammation if the estrogens bind to the testosterone receptors in the prostate. It can cause high levels of inflammation. Aspirin. Simple aspirin can reduce inflammatory issues going down in the prostate. Now make sure when you buy an aspirin, it's not enteric-coated. It is not having any red, yellow, blue, purple, aluminum-like. Why would they put aluminum in aspirin? I don't know, but sometimes they do. So do not buy it with any of these components. If you buy an aspirin, it must be clean.
The first thing you said, enteric-coated, will it specifically say that?
Yeah, it will. You'll see right on the...
In the ingredient list?
Right on the front of the box sometimes.
Oh, really? Okay.
They say enteric-coated. Sometimes you have to... And then take a magnifying glass with you when you go to buy some of this stuff, because in print it'll be microscopic and you'll need a high-powered lens to read what's there, because they're trying to hide something. I love full disclosure. I mean, it's such a play on words. We're going to fully disclose what we have in the vitamin or the drug, but we're going to make it very small. And we have an aging population which can barely see as it is, and so it's a brand name product. Oh yeah, it's got to be good. I've been using it for the last 99 years, not realizing that they've poisoned the product. Cayenne pepper. It too is an anti-inflammatory. What cayenne pepper does, even if you do have cancer cells in the prostate, it causes the cancer cells to commit suicide, literally to implode. So again, you can combine it with the aspirin, you can combine it with the rosemary, you can combine it with the ginger. Okay, ginger also helps again in the reduction of inflammation. So ginger, rosemary are combinations you can use. You can use these in combination or by themselves. Okay. Nettle root, you want the root. It's a DHT blocker, which can block any excessive testosterone from occurring that will convert to estrogen. So something you may want to use. And it too can help regulate testosterone. It's another thing you want. Black pepper, because black pepper has a means of delivering whatever into the system. Hawthorne leaf. We just talked about that for the heart. See how these things can carry over to other things. It too has a anti-estrogenic component because it too has luteolin in it. Okay. Again, Siberian Ginseng, because it can help again bind to the estrogen receptors and block the estrogen. BHT. Now you've been told that BHT is dangerous. BHT is a cancer-causing bad guy. BHT protects you from viral infections that can attack fat cells. The reason why BHT was taken out back in the 60s and 70s because they said it caused cancer. Nobody was getting sick from viruses. It's hard to infect you with a virus if I got something that's going to block that from happening. So, BHT, because it too is anti-estrogenic and balances testosterone, it boosts the testosterone levels. Oils like olive oil, sesame seed oil, pumpkin seed oil, any of them will do. Basically, if you want, you can fuse them together. And by fusion, basically, you would take them, put them in an oil, blend them so they got it heated, or you can simmer it in a low heat, and you can put some of these components together if you want, or all of them, and mix them up and let them slowly simmer so that they fuse together. And then afterwards, you can filter them out if you want, if they haven't been completely absorbed in the oil, and then use half a teaspoon several times a day. You can also make these things individually with alcohols and extract. Again, another simple way of doing this. Okay, you can also mix them with honey. So you want to put some ginger, rosemary, grapeseed, some aspirin, cayenne pepper, nettle root, all these things. Put them in honey and fuse them together. Blend them up. Now you got a honey mix, which the sugar will transport these things into the body. So you've got lots of ways of doing this. Okay, you can do it in oil, you can do it as a tea, you can do it as a tincture, you can do it as in a honey fusion. You can even mix these things with vinegar if you want. You know, every time you have a piece of meat or something, you want to put some vinegar on your meat or a salad. There you go. Okay. Learn how to do these things so that they're incorporated in your diet when you're eating. So as you're taking these things all the time in your food, guess what? You don't have those problems anymore. One thing that honey has in it, now again, we're talking unpasteurized honey. Honey has something called chrysin, naturally occurring, and chrysin blocks estrogens and kills prostate cancer cells. Okay, data confirmed that honey has cytotoxic activity against human prostate cancer cells, which is consistent with previous studies that indicate that honey and its ingredients possess anti-tumor and anti-carcinogenic properties. But it must be unpasteurized, not raw. What does raw mean? What does raw mean? All right. That's it. Now, I want to, again, go a little off topic here. So I want some of you to understand the dangers of what you're dealing with and to be aware of them and to, again, fix them. I'm going to read an article about the USDA Act, Food and Drug Act of 1906. For those of you who still are looking at that green sticker saying USDA. In 1906, Upton Sinclair wrote that the hit novel The Jungle, which vividly described the corruption of the American meatpacking industry at the time, and catapulted an entire era of journalism which exposed adulterated food, dangerous prescription drugs, and the unkept hordes of animals bred for consumption. This is how it got started. Dr. Watt had published findings that the widespread use of harmful preservatives, including the embalming of beef. In addition to wise research and exposure of adulterated foods, the biggest battle was against synthetic sweeteners. Artificial sweeteners had been around since the 1870s. Called glucose and several others championed adulterants because they were not really food, just cheap fillers that poisoned the food industry, unbeknownst to the general public. The USDA, the United States Department of Agriculture, ironically fired Wiley, a very genius who had helped originate the landmark document and a health advocate who cared deeply about the consumer rights. The USDA exploited loopholes and exceptions of the Pure Food and Drug Act and began what turned out to be the ultimate undermining of public health for profits. Undermining health for profits. We quickly followed was a lucrative intervention for the whole process by the big pharma and big government control of the misleading of marketing. To appreciate the remarkable depth of corruption, simply take a good look at the certain exceptions and exemptions of this pure act. The term poultry product means any poultry carcass, meaning small portions of the carcass have historically not been labeled as ingredients and are exempt from the Secretary of Agriculture's definition of poultry product. Vegetarians and vegans beware. In other words, you're putting them in the vegetarian. This exception includes the parts most meat eaters won't even eat, like guts, brains, and bones. You vegans having a good old time with this, I'm sure, and vegetarians. The history of crimes against food and drug laws runs deep, but the most notable reign of nature began in the early 1900s at the infamous U.S. Bureau of the Chemistry, which later became the Food and Drug Administration. USDA basically was the FDA of the time, and the true motive of the act was to shut down any therapeutic or healing claims from food, vitamins, supplements, herbs, and create a monoculture for medicine and to legalize adulteration of meat and poultry. Striking similar to today's corruption of the food pharmaceutical industries, the most powerful companies of the early 1900s had vested interest in undermining regulations. So what am I saying here? Just because you see a green sign saying USDA, if you see it, run the other way. It may not be what you think. All right. Basically, that's all I really wanted to get over to everybody, because we did a show about something for the skeptics. And I just want to further elaborate this and just incorporating this with the prostate issue, because a lot of prostate issues and the breast issues and cervical issues and testicular issues are again being attacked and affronted by the foods that have been genetically engineered and designed to undermine your physiology. Okay, soy should never have been put in the food industry. Why is soy there? It's a highly estrogenically based food. It undermines the male physiology. It destroys the female physiology. There's no benefit to it whatsoever other than fertilizer, and yet it's being fed to you because it's USDA approved. Why is canola oil being fed to you when knowing full well that when you cook canola oil it becomes a very high carcinogen? Even in the processing of canola oil, people that process it wind up with skin issues. When they touch the skin, it comes undone because of the way it damages the cellular membrane of the body. Scars the thyroid, it scars the heart. Why is that being sold? Why are omega-3s from fish oils that are coming from toxic fish livers and things of this nature from the oceans, which are full of lead and mercury and arsenic, are being sold in the health food industry, when they know full well that the omega-3s oxidize at an exponential rate? Why is that being fed to you? And why is butter being told it's a bad guy, when butter is the fat you should be using? It's interesting when you look at this and start doing some real thorough examinations and understand that, left is right and right is left, like double speech. If we're going to give you a fat, we're not going to give you that one, because that one sustains brain integrity, heart integrity, cellular integrity, muscle power. This one will oxidize and break you down. And then if you cook it, further damaging you. So again, you have to start, again, thinking in these terms. Okay, why are men today having prostate issues? Okay, why are they having these kind of issues? Why are women having issues with breast issues or reproductive issues below? Why are guys having testicular issues or penile issues today? Why is this going on? Because somebody okayed something in the food supply to cause an undermining of the reproductive system. So again, these are some of the things that we can offset by using things that are anti-mutating, anti-inflammatory, and things that can help pull stuff out of your body. All right. I think that's pretty well got it. Anything else?
No, we're good.
No side effects, no sound stages, nothing like that? All right. You got it all. Make the stuff. Again, I know I'm going to get questions on this. Try to make these things. Seriously, they're not that hard. We showed you how simple they were. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. Geez, oh, peace. That's how you're going to learn. You're going to believe, and you're going to get it, and you will get it, and you'll be better for it. Seriously. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. All right. To the next section, to your health. From Dave and myself.